because it's a setup. Your question's a setup, Alex. There is no good answer to this.
What does Valentine's mean to you? What do you think it means to you as a father? What do you think it means to other fathers? What have you heard it means? Anything that comes to mind that you want to share? Valentine's coming up. Whatever you have on your mind. What is it? What do you want to say to the young fathers out there in watching our channel? Sam, you go first.
I knew you were gonna pick me. I mean, for one thing, let me just tell you this: the Super Bowl lands on February 7th, right?
Okay.
Exactly a week after that is February 14th, which is
Uh-huh.
Valentine's Day. All you say for all the women out there, thank God Valentine's Day doesn't land on the Super Bowl. Could probably be an unhappy Valentine's Day
For
for
real, for real. Do you think, okay, let's go there. Do you think that if you're, would you rather go out on a date with your wife
Oh, here we
or your
go.
girlfriend, or would you rather watch the Super Bowl? Now,
Uh,
obviously, if she wants to watch the Super Bowl, it's a win-win, right? I
oh
mean,
yeah,
probably
definitely.
got to keep her then.
But how many times is that the case? I mean, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, so in other words, yeah, you'll go out to a nice
So,
dinner at like
so,
Hooters or something, you know.
so this is my issue. This is my issue.
Well, there's
Our whole
screens everywhere.
conversation is right in line with my issue, right? Because it's a setup. Your question's a setup, Alex. There is no good answer to this. Super Bowl or a date with the wife. Are you kidding me? It's a setup.
Okay, so let me give you the old is it adage, as they say, the old adage, happy wife.
Happy
Right.
life.
That's right.
Right. But
So
in
there
your
is
heart,
an
you want to watch
answer.
the Super Bowl. See,
Uh,
that's the catch.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, Valentine's Day to me, it feels like a setup, right? Do we acknowledge the history of Valentine's Day?
Do you know
The
the you know
celebration of the saints?
yeah, well, do you know the history, the story behind Valentine's Day real quick, like in a short, story?
No, I don't. I mean, I know that it had something to do with some saints in the AD 3 AD or something like that. So it's a
Sam, do you know the story?
celebration.
I thought it was about a little baby with wings that ran around and shoot people with arrows.
That's the setup that Greg's talking about. I
So
hope if there's somebody out there who knows the truth, they'll correct me on this. But I think, long story short, there was a gentleman, Valentinus, I think was his name. He was going to be, what do you call it? Not, I guess, not crucified, but he was going to be um, um, crucified by the king, and they had him in jail. And when he was in jail, um, he befriended this guard's daughter, because he knew how to. I think he knew how to write and he knew how to read, and he was teaching her. Well, when they took him off to be executed, that's the word I think I'm looking for. When they took him off to be executed, he left a little note, and it said, I believe it said, from your Valentine. And so that's kind of the story
The
behind.
exchange of Valentines came in.
Exactly. So I think that's where it came in. But if somebody out there in watching our YouTube channel knows the real story, please feel free to leave a comment.
The real story.
or
The
don't,
story.
right?
I think I got it pretty much right. But okay, so getting back.
So, but my point is this, right? So my idea is it's not about the day, it's about the conversations that need to take place leading up to the day. What are the expectations? If you're involved in a marriage or relationship, so Valentine's Day is coming up, honey. What does that mean to you? Does it mean flowers? Does it mean dinner? And ladies, if you come back with, oh, I don't really care, surprise me, that's a bunch of BS too.
What about you, Sam?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, man. I was really bad about Valentine's Day. Um,
Why?
uh, well, at the time, because I don't know. I guess I was kind of like my dad. I don't know if well, towards the end, my dad was buying my wife, my mom, like every week he bought her for like the last 4 or 5 years of his life, man. He bought a dozen roses for my mom every day,
Mm-hmm.
fresh roses that came in every day. He bought them every day. He had the money. I mean, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But before, I remember my dad always kind of celebrated. That's his way of. I mean, you're married to somebody for 65 years. I guess obviously you really love each other. But I didn't go. I didn't take that page out of his book. I was real. I'm a frugal person. I'm somebody who puts money into things. Like food. Got to people always be like, "Say, why don't you buy roses for your wife?" I'm like, "Man, I ain't spending no $50, $60 on something I can't eat."
For the record, you are divorced, right?
Exactly. and that's probably one of the
Not
reasons.
that I'm an example, but I'm just saying.
So I remember the first attempt I made at this, right? I bought plastic roses. Because they looked there and stay for a while. That was a bad idea, man. Anyway, but I remember my men friends would just laugh at me, and then my women friends would just say, "Man, you're the most terrible husband, Sam."
But I think, Sam, I think what comes to my mind is, you said I was bad when it came to Valentine's Day, and I think that's the struggle men have is we think execute, not execute, but the YouTubers can hate on me or whatever, and that's what we hope that we get some reaction. But I think what I want to get to is that I think men, fathers, husbands, boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, or whatever, I think we think more logically than we do emotionally, and it's hard for us to understand that, because like you said, that everybody's getting roses, right? But in your mind, you're thinking like, well,
not my wife.
Was that not your wife?
Sam.
And then when you ask them like later on, like, hey, are you upset or are you mad that I didn't get you roses?
She'll say yes.
And she would say yes. Okay.
And then we would have that argument. I'm like, why? Why am I going to spend so much money on roses? That's why I took you out to eat. That's why I got up and made you, and bought you that nice card and got you some candy. I mean, the only thing I did not do was the rose thing. I mean, to this day, I still cook breakfast. So I'd get up and make her a beautiful breakfast in bed. I treat her like a queen. I just didn't give roses.
Yeah. And my thing,
she got the nice dinner, she got the nice gift, she just never got roses.
And my thing for me was cards. My wife would always tell me, I would want a card. And it was just hard for me to understand paying $6 for a piece of paper that had writing in it. Which is gonna last like maybe 5, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, and then it's gonna get in a pile of cards.
Which she's keeping.
I don't want to say any business names, but that company is making a killing on that. So where I was in the same boat with you is that she couldn't understand how she can send me the message that I want a card, but yet I wouldn't get a card.
But would you get the roses?
I would get the roses, but I wouldn't get them delivered to her work, because it was like, golly, $100 to deliver it for work. I can buy them for $30 and just deliver them myself.
Did you?
Hey, what's the one common thread between everybody? It's all about the money.
It's all money. Well, it's money, and then I think it's also
being reasonable.
It's money, and it's also going back to what Greg was saying earlier. You feel like it's all a setup. You feel it's all commercial. You feel like it's all about money when it shouldn't be about money. And so that's the dichotomy, I think. Like, why is it a $6 card? Why does it have to be about that? Why can't it be just about us being together and this and that?
No, and to cover my frugalness, I'll always be, but honey, today, every day's Valentine's Day with you, baby. I love you.
They're not buying that one either, Sam.
They're not buying it.
So my point is this, right?
Yeah.
I think we need to have
even with all the sincerity that I can put into it, it just never went over well.
Mhm.
Because it's the perfect example of us not having the conversation. What do I expect? Right? Because if people expect
What do
them
you
to read
expect
my
as the
mind,
as who as the
as the woman communicating to the man, what
okay.
does she expect? And then men have to listen. But then men have to express their desire too,
Mhm.
right? But
Yeah,
instead, we guess. And I'm a horrible guesser.
yeah.
Or assume, which is worse.
Okay, so we're gonna have some closing statements, and this is the closing question. While we close this out, what advice would you give that young father about Valentine's Day? And think about, don't think about like what you want to do or what you did. Think about what you're, tell them what to do. Let's just say he's a young son and he comes to you and he says, Dad, Valentine's Day is coming up. Um, she wants this, she wants that. What do I do? Uh, we'll go with Greg first this time. What is your advice for that young father on Valentine's Day? Tell him what to
I'll
do.
keep it simple. I think we have to come to the fact that we don't know, and it's okay. We can guess.
Come
But I
on,
think
Greg.
hold on. We have to go right
You
through
got to
them
come
and
up
say,
with
hey,
something
you know
better
what?
than I don't know.
I'm thinking
Okay.
for this Valentine's Day, I'd like to get you some cards and I would like to get you some flowers and some candy. What are you thinking? Right? I'm thinking that we could do something quiet and off the beaten track because I don't feel like fighting in the restaurant. What are you thinking? And then having that very clear conversation
So I'll tell you
of
what
what
she's
that
going to tell you,
expectation
Greg.
looks like.
She's going to tell you, figure it out. You should know me by
Well,
now. So what are you going to do?
that's the problem. That's the problem.
So the
You
problem is,
expect me to read her mind? If I could read mind, believe me, I would have won the lotto
hey,
the other day.
we've been dating for 10 years. We've been dating for 3 years. We've been dating for 5 years. And you're telling me you don't know who I am?
Yeah,
That's
well,
the
when I
problem.
started dating, I told the women that I was dating, I don't read your mind. And if that's a problem, then we can just kind of move on.
So then you're
But I'm
telling,
not reading minds.
so then what you're telling the young father is to have a discussion with her on what she wants.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a discussion with her and ask her
And
what she
you know
wants.
what? This conversation doesn't take place once. It'll probably take place a dozen times over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Sam, what are you telling him?
I'm telling them to, I mean, it's supposed to be, I mean, it's a holiday. It's Valentine's Day, but it's really always more directed towards the woman. That, what a man gives to a woman to, I don't know, to show his love. I would say, get her something. Obviously, make her feel special. I mean, because she is your wife. And that's something I tell the guys in class all the time when it comes to parenting. The best thing you could do for your children is to love their mom. So whether it's on Valentine's Day or any other day of the year, just love her.
So when you say do something special, be a little bit more specific, because the young
maybe
father is looking out there.
I'll be specific. Like maybe you don't cook breakfast.
Cook breakfast
in bed.
Okay.
Maybe maybe you don't go see her. Maybe you both work and you never go see her for lunch. Go see her for lunch, and make sure you have a nice dinner. Either you make it yourself or you have something set up. At the Red Barn or something, a very nice place to go. Either with nice ambiance. Depends. I mean, depends what she likes. I mean, she might like rock and roll, so you go to a bar. It just depends. I mean, but yeah, it's kind of her day to be pampered.
Yeah. So great. My advice, or what I would tell the young father out there, is look at it as a 50-50. What I mean by that is of what you do, 50% do what you want to do for Valentine's Day. Like, what do you like to do, or what would you want to do? You might not want to do anything for Valentine's Day. Well, then that gives her the full 100%. But do what you want to do on Valentine's Day. It could be cook. Like maybe you like. I know, Sam, you love to cook, so it might be like, and then it would help with your idea of like, not going out and spending money. You could say, hey, honey, on Valentine's Day, I'd like to cook for you. What do you want to eat? And then you figure out what the menu is, and then you're cooking for her, right? The other 50% is what Greg said. Find out what she wants. Does she want flowers? Does she want a card? Find out, and you should know that through the years of being with her, or months, or depending on how long you've been with her. Find out if that's what she wants, and then look at your budget. Depending on if she wants, if you know she wants or she would like flowers delivered to her, well, then deliver flowers to her work, but it's got to be within your budget. Now, you may be asking, well, how do I know she wants it? Because she doesn't really say anything, this and that. I think a way you can find out is if she mentions that somebody else got it. Or if you just ask her, like Greg said, just ask her, hey, what are your thoughts on me sending you flowers to work? Is that, do you like that kind of thing? And then cards and this and that. So I would do the flowers, I would do the cards, and then if you know how to cook, I would cook dinner for her. But again, 50% of what you want to do, and then 50% of what she wants to do. And I think that would be the best. To me, that's the best strategy.
Or you can do this. There's a punchline of a joke I heard the other day. The guy's asking, hey, so what y'all do for your 10th year anniversary? He goes, oh, we went to Hawaii. He goes, oh man, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous out there. The waves, the water, just the ambiance, everything. And he goes, so how long you been married? He goes, what did you do on your 25th? He goes, I went back to Hawaii to go pick her up.
All right, guys. All right. Well, that's
so I have heard women. I have heard women
Greg.
say that, right? Very clearly, it's about the effort that you put into this. I have heard them say that. Plan something, think about it. Do try to get in touch with me and continue to have that conversation, right?
Yeah, definitely. And if you're gonna go out to eat, make a reservation.
Yeah, and not that, but make sure it's something she likes to eat.
Oh yeah. Right.
All right. Perfect.
All right, everybody. From Father Time. Take care.
Thank you.